It's quite remarkable that on the birthday of the greatest manager we've ever had, we were that pathetic and that gutless.
The real question is, where do we genuinely go from here? Of the 15 Premier League games we've got left this season, on paper, I can only see us winning about 2 of them. I'm not trying to be dramatic. Maybe Southampton at home, maybe Palace. We're awful away from home. Still got to play Ipswich. Still got to play the bottom 3 in general. And then against the big teams, people say, well, you know, we get a result against City, but City beat... You know, I can't see us winning any of those games. And the more games you lose, the more your confidence drops. I think we stay up, not to be this whole we're in a relegation battle, but we stay up because the teams below us are worse. Everton could quite comfortably leapfrog us, and we are still in the Cups. I always said this was a free strike system with Ange while we're in the Cups, but I've made it clear for a while that I think Ange is out of his depth. You know, he has struggled with injuries, he has struggled with fatigue. I do respect that, but I do still think he's out of his depth. If he gets the sack, Mason has the job to the end of the season, and I think you are genuinely inviting a relegation battle on then, definitely for sure there. Now, we're not going to go and get Iraola. Genuinely, I would love Iraola. Iraola would be the dream, but why would he want to leave a thriving Bournemouth? Imagine taking them into Europe and guiding them next season. I look at managers out there, and the only managers that would potentially want to come to Tottenham are those that are unsure of what the ownership is like, and they have never managed in the Premier League, genuinely. I've told you, I sympathise with Ange, I sympathise with these injuries, but the reality is the record's there. He has a worse record than Mourinho and Conte. Conte was 4th when he was sacked. I know he'd lost the dressing room, I know he had that rant, this, that, the other. Mourinho sacking him the days before the final. You know, the reality is, if we weren't in the Cups right now, Postecoglou would be gone. And I think Levy realistically is sticking with him now because there's no better options. This is 24 years of failure. This is season ticket rises. This is furlough. This, you know, I've done it in another video. I'm not going to repeat myself again. But the reality is, there is no ambition from this club. It's rugby games. It's boxing matches. It's events. That's the only thing they care about. There are days left in this window. We are struggling for players. We're struggling for leaders in that team. Someone like Højbjerg was actually more of a leader. I know he didn't have all the attributes, but he was still... And we're not doing anything. I look at Man United potentially letting Garnacho go. That's the sort of player that we really should be going for. I'm not saying he'd come to Tottenham, but we're not even in 10 FC. There's no players out there we're being linked with and doing anything with, and it's a worry seeing ultimate failures for all these managers that weren't supported, even though Ange has had a level of backing. We need so much more. And it's the history element as well. Yesterday, Tottenham put so much stuff out about Bill Nicholson and his birthday, and we celebrated, but you don't celebrate that at all. We were promised when we moved into that stadium that the Bill Nick gates would be installed. We've had nothing. There are no statues. There's no sort of THFC on the seats in the stadium. There's the cockerel above it, and that is it. We are a business, and everyone should know this by now. If you are still hiding from that fact, open your eyes. We do not honour our history. I hate sitting here and saying this, but someone like Arsenal have statues all around their ground. They really celebrate their history. We have a lot to celebrate, and we're dying. We are dying as a football club here, and it is a real worry.